friends, today I'm going to do my July TBR. So I'm really excited for July because I do not have a ton of e-arcs that I have to read in July. I feel like this is the first month where I'm really kind of just like free and just can basically read whatever. And it's just perfect timing because you have probably seen it, and if not, I will leave a link. I got a couple of arcs that were at BEA and BookCon that Melanie from Mail to the Annie sent me, and I'm obviously super excited about reading those, and so I can really prioritize not all of them, but a lot of them this month because I just don't have as many e-arcs. There's definitely still a couple of e-arcs that already came out that I still need to read because I haven't yet. There's definitely still books from other old TBRs that I definitely need to read, but I have decided to not mention them in this video because I feel like y'all are probably sick of them. I mean, I'm sick of them. Like, sometimes I put books onto my TBRs like 4 months in a row because I just need to create that pressure for myself. In July, I don't really want any pressure. I feel like I really need to focus on like mood reading in July because I just kind of came out of like a tiny slump. And so all the books that I mentioned in the past couple of TBRs that I haven't picked up yet, you can guarantee in my head, they are definitely in my TBR as well, but I'm not going to mention them in this video, especially because I feel like it's definitely starting to get to a ridiculous level of not reading the books that I put on my TBR, and I really don't want that. And so I'm not talking about those books in this TBR, but they are in my head, and in general, I'm really basically only talking about the books that are kind of like planned reading because they are like a buddy read or something like that. Otherwise, not really putting anything on here. I'm not gonna, like, I was like, oh, I could do something from my TBR jar. I was like, no TBR jar, just the things that you have already planned, and then everything else, just leave it up to your mood. And I think that's gonna be a really, really good plan for July. I am not yet sure if I'm gonna participate in the Reading Rush, formerly known as Booktubeathon. I'm gonna be honest with you because I think I can. Like, I just don't know how to feel about the fact that Booktubeathon is now Reading Rush. Booktubeathon was started because Booktube wanted to have its own readathon, and like, if people from other communities feel bad about it, I get that in a way, but I also think it is ridiculous. Like, we have so many readathons and just things that overlap through all of the different bookish communities. I am just sad that Booktubeathon is no longer Booktubeathon, and as someone who has participated in it every year since the start, I can be kind of petty about that. I think that's fine. So I'm not yet really sure if I'm going to participate. I do love the homepage and like having badges and stuff like that. That's something that it just speaks to me to like complete things and like get a badge for it. So I will probably end up participating in it, but we're gonna get there. I'm gonna do a separate TBR for that if I actually do. For now, I'm just gonna talk about what I'm definitely planning to read in July. Maybe I will incorporate some of those in my Reading Rush TBR. I don't know yet. So first off, I'm buddy reading 2 books with Melanie this month, although one of them I will finish on the day that you're watching it. That one is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin, but I'm not really going to talk about this because I will probably finish it as you're watching this. But the other one is Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. These are both books that were in the BEA and BookCon box, and I'm really excited about this one because I haven't really read much by Christina Lauren yet, and so I'm just excited. Like, I still definitely want to catch up with most of their backlog, but to have an arc of it, especially as I'm currently just so into adult romance and just really enjoy reading adult romance so much, that just makes me really happy. And obviously, especially buddy reading it with Melanie, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Same with this one, obviously, but like, I just don't really want to talk about it because if I was filming this TBR a little bit later than I do, like, I wouldn't talk about it because I'd already be like close to finishing it. So, you know, just not gonna talk about it, but just so you know, this is gonna be one that I will definitely have like a written review and like talk about in my wrap up and all of that. Then I'm also gonna read Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir this month. Now, this is definitely something that I'm obviously like super excited to read, but also something that I want to read this month because I'm starting to build up like super high expectations. The thing is, I was already excited about this in the first place. Like, I found out about this through Melanie, and then I knew it was like about a lesbian necromancer, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then Melanie read it and loved it, and it is currently her favorite book of the year, so I was like, oh my god. But then she also got me this arc, and like, this book just already like means a lot to me without me actually having read it. And so I'm just starting to like build these really, really high expectations. And I feel like if I just leave it, then I'm just going to build them up to a place that the book can never reach. Like, that's just unfair. So again, I definitely want to read this month because I'm just really excited about it, but also because I feel like otherwise I'm just going to build expectations that are impossible. And yeah, I'm just a little bit intimidated because I just want to love it so much, and I want this content to mean as much to me as the book already does before I have read it. So I'm just a little bit like, oh, I don't know. But still, very, very, very excited about this. And like, I do have like a feeling that I'm gonna love it as well. But still, it's a little bit intimidating. Then I want to read Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Now, I told this story in my haul, but Melanie got me an arc of the sequel for this, thinking that it's the sequel to Courting Darkness. And so now I have Vow of Thieves, the sequel. I feel like this is just the right amount of pressure I need to finally read this first book. I bought this new like a couple of months ago because I was like, oh, I want to read this. I don't want to wait until it's available used. But now it's been a couple of months and I still haven't read it. So I'm using Vow of Thieves as pressure to finally read this. I love Mary A. Pearson's Remnant Chronicles, so I think I'm gonna really love this as well. I think I just haven't read it because I've barely been in a fantasy mood, but at the moment I feel like I am. And so I just think this is perfect timing. It just, again, the pressure is needed. And if I get through this quickly and if I get through the other stuff quickly, then I might read Vow of Thieves as well. But I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, so I'm not putting it on this TBR. Then I have The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. This is the book that Spence and Chloe read with their book club in July. And I've been wanting to read along with the book club basically since they started it, but like I've never had anything that like I had on my TBR or that like really, really like interested me so much that I would like buy it to read it with them. But this I have on my TBR, and I think this is only a duology, so I think that the second book is already out, so I could like binge this series. So yeah, again, it's just another one where I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. Like my TBR has just gotten so big that I feel like I need to use whatever opportunity I can to like pick up random books, because otherwise I just kind of forget about them. So this was just too perfect. It's kind of thick, so I'm a little bit scared, but it's gonna be fine. And finally, I have one e-arc that comes out in July, and that is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. This is a YA fantasy. I know it has a gay main character, like, or one of the main characters is gay. The cover is gorgeous. That's it. Hopefully, I will have a review for this up somewhere in the middle of July. I think this comes out July 30th. So usually I have my video reviews out about 10 days earlier. So hopefully it will be there. We'll see how I like it. I hope I love it because I have high hopes for it. But yeah, you will hopefully see my thoughts in that review. Anyway, this is everything that I am planning to read in July, or anything that I'm definitely like 100% sure I want to read. And then everything else I'm just gonna do mood wise. I think I have a good strategy for this month, so I'm feeling very confident that it's gonna be quite the good month. Let me know your reading plans for July and any readathons you're participating in. And yeah, I make new videos every Wednesday and Sunday with occasional reviews on Friday, so click subscribe to never miss anything and hit the little bell so you get notified as well. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!